A segment of the video is sponsored by Shortform. Yes, more money to spend on books.
Money, productivity, entrepreneurship, glasses. Hey everyone, welcome to the top 5 books that I would personally recommend that helped me pretty much grow my perspective on money, productivity, or pretty much entrepreneurship. And these are just general book recommendations that I would pretty much give to anyone who are getting into self-help or productivity books. And if you guys are doubting my expertise, I'm wearing glasses. Are you? That's right. You're a video viewer. If people who would ask me what book I would recommend, these are the 5 books that I personally would highly recommend reading, and I've read these for the past few years now, and it's been such great reads, so let's get straight into it. Alright, so the first book introduced me the idea that not only do you need hard work, but you also need some sort of passion when it comes to succeeding in whatever area you are. And that book is Duckworths Grit. Angela Duckworths Grit. Why did I just say Duckworth? Angela Duckworth's Grit talks about the power of passion and perseverance, like it says here on the book. And basically the idea is that everyone is familiar with the idea of talent not being enough to propel you far in life. And I think we can all agree that we've accepted that idea. And everyone can agree that hard work is so much better than talent. However, this book talks about the idea of combining both perseverance and passion. Essentially, this is a glorified way of saying how hard work really pays off instead of talent. Especially one example in the book, she mentions that one student in her math class was kind of not performing well compared to her classmates who were just really good at mathematics. However, this one student had this characteristic, which was grit. And essentially, this student, no matter how much he struggled in the math class, he just pretty much continued on. Like, he kept on pushing and pushing, and guess where he is now? In a top university. This book really illustrates the different scenarios in which hard work pretty much pays off compared to talent. And while talent is a big factor to pretty much your success in some area, that's not gonna propel you to the end. You will have to rely on hard work as well if you want to succeed. And another concept that she discusses is the idea of passion and perseverance, which together is grit. Because obviously, even if you're hardworking, if you don't find passion in whatever you're doing, you're not going to really go that far, because why would you? You're not passionate about it. Just the same way I did drums when I was young. So I remember when I was young, I started doing drum classes, and I was never really the percussionist in the family. I've never had the sense of rhythm. I did play the guitar a bit or the piano, but I never had that percussion skill. But throughout time and throughout classes, I just kept going and going, and now I can play drums. I just don't have drums in my house. They're expensive. But I then became a drummer for one of the bands in my school, and that was pretty fun. It was a very fun experience, and I can only accredit that to working hard and just sitting through my classes and going through the lessons week by week. So in summary, what Angela Duckworth is saying is that just because life is a jerk doesn't mean that you should stop. Let's move on to the next book. Alright, moving on to the next book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, I don't have the book right now for good reason. I recently went to a birthday party, and the gift I gave them was my copy of my Atomic Habits book. My friend was pretty avid in the productivity space, so I pretty much gave them my copy of the book. That's how much I would recommend that book. Essentially, if you want to fix your life, James Clear introduces the ideas of systems and habits. I think you guys pretty much are aware of this, but essentially, instead of fixing your life just in a week or in a month, he recommends fixing your life by setting up systems and habits in the long run. What's cool about Atomic Habits is the idea of slow progress. He states that if you have a habit and if you improve your habit by 1% every day, by the end of the year, you're gonna be like 20 times better. There's a specific formula, I'm just gonna put it on the screen. But that is crazy. Just by doing the same habit, you don't have to excel at it, you don't have to do it perfectly. As long as you're improving little by little, you're gonna be improving by 20 times. It's kind of like working out and adding 1 set every day until the end of the year. And by the end of the year, you're gonna be fucking ripped. What I love about Atomic Habits is the fact that not only does it talk about habits, but it also gives you systematic ways you could achieve your results. So there's even cheat sheets on how to build habits, on how to break habits. So it's pretty much a very recommended read that I would have for you guys. Alright, moving on to book number 3, and this is probably one of the most controversial ones that I've had, but this is 12 Rules of Life by Jordan B. Peterson. So, if you guys don't know, Jordan B. Peterson is a clinical psychologist. He taught in Toronto, I believe, and now he's sort of an intellectual figure. But basically, this book aligns pretty much psychology and biology to the rules of life and the ways of living. Let me explain. So, in a way, this book, in a sense, gives you direction of what life truly means. So, if you think about it, outside of religion and everything, a lot of people tend to ask themselves what the hell life really means. And sometimes I do ask myself that question as well. Like, why am I here? What's the purpose of everything? And obviously, while you're young, you don't really think of that question. But the moment you think of these questions as you get older, life starts to get a little bit blurry and it starts to get a little bit confusing. What do I do in life? What's the purpose of doing good and bad? And this book pretty much teaches you that not only are these rules just some random rules that make you better in life, but these are actually linked to psychological studies as well as clinical studies in his experience. However, this is kind of a complicated read, so that's why I paired up with today's sponsor, Short Form, to simplify it for me.
Now, if you guys don't know, Short Form is an application that allows you to read summaries and breakdowns of books straight from the app. But it doesn't just offer summaries, it actually shows you chapter-to-chapter breakdowns as well as key ideas from different self-help books. What I like about Short Form is that they always publish new books or guides and articles every week, and subscribers can even vote on what books to cover. For example, one of my favorite books, 12 Rules of Life, is a book that isn't really the easiest to read, so I use Short Form in combination to see specific chapter breakdowns as well as different key points of the chapter showcasing. For example, Short Form breaks down Rule 5 or Chapter 5 of the book really well. Essentially, the chapter teaches us about the roles of parents as we train our children to follow the rules of society. So if you guys want to get a 5-day free trial, join Short Form through the special link down in the description. Thank you again, Short Form, for sponsoring today's video.
So like I mentioned in the sponsor, one of my favorite rules is the stand up straight rule, which essentially tells you to be competent and to be dangerous. So one good way of living life is to be dangerous, not to inflict harm on others, but to have the capability of protecting those in need. And I think that's a very noble rule that everyone should follow to some degree. We should harness competence in a way of not harnessing it as a weapon, but more of it as a shield to protect those who are in need. I would highly recommend this book. I'm not even done yet. Like, this is still a hard read for me. The way he writes is really complicated, so I'm still trying to finish the book, but I would highly recommend already just from reading the first few chapters. Next up we have is money. Alright, next up we have is related to money, and we have is the Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I know this is a very popular book, but it's a popular book for a reason. I really love reading this because it not only talks about money in a very different light, but it also shows a more in-depth explanation of the behaviors of people around money. You're not going to learn just tips and tricks on how to manage your money or whatever, but this actually shows you how people behave with financial money. For example, one key idea I really liked about this book was the fact that a lot of people's experience with money is based on their experience with life. So you notice how a lot of our parents are kind of conservative with money in the fact that they don't really like wasting a lot of things. And that could be due to the way they grew up, as things back then were not as readily available as today. Compared to young people right now, they're willing to spend a lot of things because they're quite used to it. They're already comfortable. They don't have to deal with the hardships of pretty much growing economy. So that's why most young people tend to spend a lot faster than older people. It's a very interesting concept, and I didn't expect to be that much depth when especially talking about money, but this book definitely is one of the books that really talks about money in a more deeper way. So highly recommend. And finally, the last book that I would highly recommend. This is not the reason why I bought an iPhone or my upcoming Mac Studio, but this is just because I genuinely find it very useful, especially when learning about entrepreneurship and everything. And it is Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. So basically, this is the biography of Steve Jobs. If you guys don't know, if you live under a freaking rock, this guy pretty much founded Apple. Pretty much the philosophy and the design language of Apple came from Steve Jobs. And the reason why I really highly recommend this is because not only does it give you a very in-depth look in his life, but it also shows his philosophies when designing Apple. When it comes to designing, when it comes to his philosophy of how users interact with his product, it's so useful as a book because if you're thinking of doing entrepreneurship or if you're thinking of just making a foot in your life, this book will really teach you on how he pretty much handled things, especially at Apple. And it goes to show how skillful he is because Apple is pretty much one of the biggest tech companies out there, and you have to admit their products are something of themselves, and for that to come from one man is just crazy. So if you guys are really interested in entrepreneurship and if you want to have a good read in the sense of catching the philosophies of Apple and Steve Jobs, then I would highly recommend this book. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the book recommendations. I'm gonna take off my glasses now because I don't need to prove myself anymore. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really would recommend these books because I've really got a lot of value from them. And if you guys have any book recommendations, do comment down your recommendations. But yeah, just as long as you don't comment 50 Shades of Grey, then we're good. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys want to see me make more book videos in the future, then just comment down below. Don't worry, I read the comment section. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to drink your water. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!